All right, guys. What's going on, guys? I'm going to double check that the broadcast is happening. And while I do that, I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do. What I have here is I have a 110 beat per minute track. And I have that in a stereo, I have that imported into the track on the very top here, if you look at my screen. What I have also set up already is two tracks for a stereo guitar sound and a duplicate of that so I can go back and forth between takes for the left side of the speaker, and for the right side of the speaker, right side of the headphones, right side, whatever you want to call it, I have a couple of stereo inputs for panning to the right side. I have the left a little bit quieter than the right today. I'm going to be playing, what I do is I record the left aggressively and the right precisely. Kind of a thing like that. And then I have two tracks for the bass to go back and forth between takes, and that's just a single mono input. Just one single track. Those two tracks. So 4 tracks for the left side, a left and a right kind of panned, a left and a right stereo image kind of panned mostly left, and so 2 of those each, so 4 total, and then 4 total, 2 of them each for a stereo track kind of panned to the right for the right guitars, and then just one mono single track for the bass, 2 of them though, so that I can go back and forth between takes. That's why there's 4, 2 of them. I do these 2, record a bit, and then I go down here, go back, record a bit, and you'll kind of hear it as I'm doing it. I'm not going to talk the whole time I'm doing it. I'm going to do this thing where I will take the volume of the mic down so that I'll take the volume of the mic down like that so you can't hear me. So that what's going to happen is while I'm recording, I don't want the room sound to come into the recording. But when I want to tell you what I'm doing, or I'm doing something interesting or different, I'll talk about it. And when I'm sitting here just kind of riffing before I start the track and kind of just coming up with a starting riff, I'll be having the mic on still for a few seconds, so you'll kind of hear the room sound. And then when I get that riff, I'll take it down and I'll just take it down and I'll go ahead and start recording those parts. I keep turning it down to like make an example of what's going to happen, how my voice will be disappeared and the room sound will disappear. I have 2 mics down here, one here and one here, and this cab is the left side, two different types of speakers, and then the same 2 different types of speakers on this side. And I like to record the 121 Legends. Recording the Commonwealths is pretty good for clean, but it can be a little bit aggressive because it's kind of like a scooped version of a heavy metal speaker. It's like a Scorpion. It's like a old Peavey, really aggressive sound, like a 70s Peavey sound. But when you got something clean going, it kind of gets that Roland JC120 vibe going. Well, I love that sound. That's the Metallica clean sound. So every once in a while when I do clean, I'll put it down there. Especially in Killer Killer, I'll do that. But usually during Killer Killer for the last 22 tracks or so, I try not to fuck with it. I just leave it where it is the whole time. I have faders up here. I have 2 faders for the left and right stereo image of the guitar, 1 fader for the bass, which is down right now until after I finish the guitar parts, and another fader for my voice. As you can see, my voice will get quieter and quieter and quieter until you can't even hear me anymore, and now you can hear me again. So yeah, that's basically the thing. And then I have another input that I don't use, and that one just stays down, and I have the input for the music on the blog. And that one's going to stay down today, so if I touch it, it doesn't make a sound, or if it's in a weird spot, I'm not going to get like a bunch of staticky recordings, staticky stuff that I can't figure out what it is. So I'll just have those turned down. And that's just a 6-track mixer, and then it has a main output. And I just put that so that the main output carries a pretty strong sound, not too strong a sound. I hope that's clear enough that everybody can kind of understand what I'm getting at. Hope I don't blow your guys' ears out with this, but this should come across pretty good. I'm going to be recording using headphones. This is an important thing to do when you're recording loud stuff, because you kind of want to have a monitor on what you're doing. You kind of want to have a good equalization on what you're doing. I'm recording in GarageBand Mobile, nothing fancy there, and this will totally be something that's rewatchable. The drum track kind of sounds like this. Yeah, I'm going to start with a riff that would go to something like that. I don't know what it's going to be. I haven't thought of anything. I'm just coming into this blind like I always do. That's kind of the way I do it. I like to come into it blind, and I'll surprise myself with something, you know. See how it goes. So, take a sip of my energy drink. I'm having a Fruit Punch Rockstar today. And first thing I always got to do is tune. Let me get this cable. This is the base from the recording of the song yesterday. I'm not plugged in so I don't lose my battery on my active electronics and that. Which I do have a charger down there, and I do use rechargeable batteries. You're going to want to get rechargeable batteries that aren't 8.4 but are 9 point something or very close to that 9 volts. Because otherwise you'll be dying pretty quick. So let's see. Plug it in. I don't know if is that going to be it. I don't think that's it. Okay, so, and it might take a few efforts to get that first riff, but usually after that, a fly-off handle, so it'll just fly right out. But what I do is I just tune right on board here, and it's a pretty precise tuner. And it gives me kind of like a floating chromatic tuner. Whatever note I hit, it just finds the note I'm playing, which, as you can see, it's a touch flat, just a touch flat on a D flat. And if you hit it hard, then it goes sharp. So I'm gonna find where it is when I hit it. Like right when I hit it. Oh, okay. Hit, couple seconds. Hit, couple seconds. Hit, couple seconds. Hit, a couple seconds, because that's just how I tune. I like to have that first initial part of the note be the most in tune part, not like where it floats down sometimes. And when you have it floating down too much, ooh, that's a sign that you have not only old strings but possibly too light a gauge. And this is about as light as you can go, 46 for going into drop D flat. So I'm not going to double track with different guitars or anything. I'm just going to use this same guitar, bridge pickup, both sides. I do different guitars sometimes. More often than not, what I'll do is two of the same guitar is different styles. Like I use this guitar, only this guitar, pretty much, except for just a couple solo parts or harmony parts. I'll use this other guitar over here on the killer tracks. But if you go to the stoner metal tracks, it could be this one. It could be this one. One of them is this guy. And a few of them are this guy over here who hides my first electric guitar. He's in hiding. Throw some hats down there. And I'll show you this guy. He's got 3 pickups. He's a beast. He's heavy. Kills your back. After you're done, you need a big old back massage. You're basically feeling like, holy shit, what the fuck just happened to me? Was God standing on my shoulders? What the fuck? It's got a big old Wenge neck. The neck itself is heavier than, this is heavier than any Les Paul. Put it that way. It's a fucking chunk, okay? Doesn't help that it has the 3 pickups, so it's like a Les Paul special with a 3 pickup special that they do sometimes. So where am I at here? I'm on my second D. My G is good. My B is a little low, but these are relatively good. They're in that margin of less than 5 cents off. I'm going to turn that B up a little bit. I'm going to drop that G down. No, the G's fine. And I like to check it with a couple chords. I like to check it with this. Check it with this. With the 7th fret power chord, open power chord, drop D style power chord, and then go up to do a fretted on the top frets and open on the bottom frets. Hate dropping picks. I kind of like that riff. Maybe that will work with the drums? I don't know yet, because I haven't tried it with the drums. But that's the experiment. It's to try and figure out something that will work with the drums. So I'm gonna do a couple just like feeler takes to see if it works. I think that's a cool riff. What do you guys think? So let's try that. Let's take the room mic off. Okay, so I got that little section. I got the riff. I like it. It sounded cool, right? Sounded sweet. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and do the other side, okay? So here we go. Pop on over to the other side. Both tracks. It's going to be more of a not as chordy, not like the first one was like this. And this one's going to be a little bit more direct, like this. Okay, not as much squeal, but more pounce. Not as much attack, but more dynamic, okay? Does that make sense? So let's turn the mic down, and let's try the other side. All those little sounds at in the squeaks and stuff that you hear at the end, if I hear any of them when I listen back for the first time, I'll go, oh, okay. I think I need to cut this and that one out. But I'll leave as many as I can because it sort of instills this live feel. It kind of adds this live feel, like maybe he got too close to the amp and he's listening to his amp and it kind of squealed through. And you kind of wonder where it comes from every once in a while if you do hear it. And it doesn't, you don't hear it the first listen usually. You won't hear it until you're like deciding to replay that song after you recorded it and released it. So, yeah. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to sit here for a second and listen to what I just did and see and double check before I move on to the next part that worked and that was brutal enough and that met the standard, my personal standard that I set forth. So let's see. Oh yeah. Oh. So, what's the next riff? What's the next riff, you know? Hey, I'm trying to interact with you guys while I'm doing this, so I'm going to read some of these. Complimentary, love how you were vibing to it. So, yeah. And then something I like to do after a riff is have a verse where I do quick chord stabs, palm mutes on a third fret or something like that. Well, yeah, I'm going to be doing something kind of like that too. So I'm going to do something like this. I think it's going to be like, I'm trying to stay with that weird timing where it's like one part short, one part's long, kind of like the first riff. Because if you remember, that was like it's the same thing twice, but at the end of the second one, I go, I add something, and that completes the 8 counts. What's up, buddy?
Can I have my tablet?
It's out there, buddy.
Oh, I'm done.
Put it on the counter. Close the door when you're on the way out, buddy. Thank you. Good job at school.
I'm done at school for now.
Okay, thank you.
I can't submit my blue book thing.
Yeah, I know, because you don't have it. We'll get it on Monday.
No, it's not. I'm not seeing the yellow book.
Oh, okay.
I have the submit assignment blue thing.
Oh, the tag isn't there? They didn't build it right again?
There's G, H, D, B, and then D, and there's no submit assignment.
Okay, well, that's too bad. The teacher doesn't always get the submit assignment button working right, which means like when they're done, they go to submit it, but there's no button to click to actually submit it. So. Yeah, there's no, my songs aren't instrumentals, because they're just songs where I'm being too lazy to write lyrics for. I definitely imagine singing over it. I imagine 2 or 3 different ways of singing over it. And every single one of my songs, if it was okay to sing, yeah, 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 just yas, then I'd probably have lyrics on all my songs. But the thing is, yeah, no, it's just that there isn't. Yeah, we'll do it when he gets home. And some of the kids noticed that, and the teacher actually said there isn't a button this time. And she did that before one time, and what happens is some of them don't get set up correctly, referring to my wife. So, yes, back to the thing of recording music. What I'm going to do is I'm going to probably just play with it. I have to hear the drums again. What do they do? What do they do again? They do something like that. Yeah. Something like that sounds cool. We'll see what if that works. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to go to the other 2 tracks that are used for that left guitar. Then I'll go to the other 2 tracks used for the right guitar, and I keep going back and forth between those sets on the different takes. So it's just so that I don't have to try and like do bounce-ins or anything fucked up like that. Fuck bounce-ins. So Here we go. I got those on. I'm going to go back. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I can see my work a little bit more clearly from the outside. I'm going to go 1 bar before the riff ends. So there's a little bit of a pre-recorded part before that. And then I'm going to turn down the mic and let's see if that works. I'll do a few takes. Maybe sometimes I just could do 1 take. When I was trying to play on the 5th fret, one time I hit the 4th fret. Got to try it again. So let's just do that again. I liked the riff. The riff was juicy. I just think the accidental has to go. The accidental's fine if it's just one guy and it's live, but when you're trying to record 2 tracks doing the same thing, it won't be as tight. Let me listen to it again. I forgot the riff. Yeah, that's the We'll see if I do that key change or not. We'll see what happens. Maybe it'll be in a different place. What's happening is I'm coming in a little late, or I'm coming in a little sloppy and slow. So I'm just trying to get the right toy take. So sometimes I'll just do the second track and then see if I need to do the first track better after I get both. Usually I'll go, nah, that's good enough. That's good enough. So now we're on to the right side. Let's do it. I missed one. I need more energy. That's all it is. I needed more energy. Let's try this. So I think the next riff's going to be the same riff, but just one of them is going to go. Oh, sorry. It's going to go. Excuse me, what I mean is one side will do the low and one do the high, so it's kind of like the riff continues but the energy increases. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'll try something else. Okay. All right, guys, let's see if it works. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit more, and I'm gonna kind of look at the drums. It looks like the drums. Okay, let's see if that's what the drums are doing after this. Maybe I'll do the first riff again. Yeah, I'll do this first riff again. Yeah, I'll do the first riff again. I'll just go right back to that riff. We'll maybe do that thing with the higher part later. I'm just going to go right back to that first riff, okay, guys? Which is the... I'm always checking my tones all the way up, because if I go like that, it's all the way down. And I can go like this. These are really loose knobs, and I could like go like that and just have my tone down for forever, and be like, what? When I realize at the very end that I didn't have a tone up. So you'll see me going like this, like all the time, and it's just to make sure I'm not changing the settings by getting crazy. That's a habit you just establish in routine, so that's how that happens. Okay, let's go to that first riff again. On the third spot. Third riff is going to be the first riff. 1 does equal 3. can do better. Let's try it again. What I was searching for was some pinch harmonics. That's this. That's this part. And what that is you hold the pick like this. Just a little tiny bit sticking out. And you hit the note, and then right after you hit the note, you let your thumb just touch it. But you have to do every single note and every single fret has a different spot. The further down the frets, the closer to the center the harmonic is, I believe. So the more harmonics you play with, the more you play with harmonics, the tighter you get at them. And they sound cool on their own. But when you bend with them, they sound just killer. So let's try and do a second riff of that. And the second riff is going to follow suit with the first time, and this one's going to be the complimentary version, if you will. Mic down. Okay, so this is where the drums say, hey, motherfucker, you ready? Hey, motherfucker, are you ready? Because what the drums are doing now is... Let's listen to it real quick before we fucking try and just make something up to it. But I can see, just looking at it, that it's just blacking out. It's just like... It's not like... on the drums. It's just... Because it's just... The guy's just hammering on the kicks. So I think this is where I'll go. Or... That's kind of cool. What do you think of that? That's kind of cool. Hey, what's up? The R. Okay, is the R or the Riddler? Which guy? There's a lot of the and names that start with R. So I'm hoping the R891 is just the R on BandLab. Tell me your BandLab. If you're on here and you're enjoying it, tell me your BandLab. And let me really quickly expel some gas and then go check the BandLab blog or BandLab feed. Oh yeah, it's cracking. What's up, Wall? I'm just fucking making some fire. Wow. So let's see what happens here. I like that. It's kind of like a key change right there. So one way to get that chug better is I go from having the pick like this in my hand to having it more like this, kind of coming. So I'm kind of actually, because this is a pointy pick, so I'm kind of coming across it very slightly, and it creates more of a sugar, 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 and that instead of a chugga, 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 it's a sugar, sugar, sugar. So I'll show you the backbeat kind of gets up there. So I'll show it to you normal picking. And then the sugar, sugar picking where I kind of scoot it so it's like almost in line with my thumb right here. It's like this. We'll see. We'll see. I'll try it the sugar, sugar way first. So let's tap it, tap it, tap it. There we go. I'm 1 bar before. I'm over on the left track now. Other take element of it. Just we're gonna try and see if this riff works. We'll see. Oh yeah. Well, that was tasty. Let's see if I can do that with a more slicing precision on the right side. And that will give it that chicka 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 kind of like stereo interplay, okay? So let's see how this works out with a different pick attack style on the other side. And that's commonly what I do to make it more complementary while staying in the same riffs. I'll do different pick attacks on the different side. And then the really in your face badass parts, that's when I'll do like either one's an octave higher on the riff, or one is or the two are done exactly the same and super precision them in and hone them in, and that will get you a real that will blossom out the attack on the precision or the attack or whatever. All right, let's try this. I forgot the riff. I'm just kidding. Got nuts if I need nuts. Anybody love nuts? I love nuts. Not sucking them, but chewing them. They're like chewing nuts. Let me know in the feed. Well, that sounds cool. That's like this. That's like this. That sounds cool with the chicka chicka chicka, but I messed up a part. So let's retry that. Try it again. A little bit of an extreme bend at the end, but I'm gonna re-listen to it and see if I can tolerate it. That's fine. That's plenty fine. Is that... Okay. I think I'll go to the second riff, just because I want to make the riffs take. Yeah, that's. One bar back, left side, guitars, selected for recording, mic volume down, down, down. I hear my daughter, so if I disappear for a second, I'll just be pacifying her. Not with a pacifier, but in case she needs something. But I think she's just making a little... She thinks she's just bugging the kids or something. We'll see. She can bust in here anytime. Right side, other take, complimentary track, or what do you want to call it? It's kind of cool. I'm gonna listen to the whole track and see if that fits. If you catch my drift. Let's listen to the whole thing over and see how it feels. part there takes on some boomers style attack there. See, it's like a variation of that other riff. Let's see if it works. Let's try it. Let's listen to it. You can hear the drummer coming in early on certain spots and late on certain spots, and sometimes he struggles to do the. You can hear it. He's not as good as Matt Dunlap. Sounds good though. It sounds really good. You can hear it in some of the hi-hats because it's been converted to an MP3 and probably reclaimed off of a shitty old DVD burn or CD burn from the early 2000s. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna try and duplicate that riff, maybe with some palm mute nasty to it. Let's see. In that little What I just did right there was I was still recording when I started talking and doing the air humping and all that. So that was like left in the recording, and I don't want that to like bite me in the ass when I do a mix down and upload it on YouTube, BandLab or whatever, and then I go over to listen to it 20 minutes later, and it has 15 likes, and it has that in the middle of the track. Yeah, I'm writing a new song. I'm writing it as I go, right here on the fly. I came in with no riffs. I started playing some shit, like the second or third thing, stuck. And I'm just running with what comes. This is how I do it. I'm just giving you guys a peek into it. This is no bullshit. This is how I do it every time. It's just what it is for me. So I think that came out pretty cool with one side going down, and so I think it's cool. So those are like this. like this at the beginning. Right? Is that what that's like? That next part that's blank? Is it like that? Is that the right riff? Let's get into the right track and let's just try it and see if this one works. Let's just try and see if that works. Here we go. Oh, I'm going to go over to the band lab and see if anybody's talking. No, they've kind of chilled out. But what's up, Wallman Band? Isn't it your bedtime over in Aussie land? Love you, dude. I'm just fucking around. You guys know that. Turn that mic down. I'm gonna get that room sound in there. Not no squeal. Okay, that's good enough. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and hammer out the right side with a more precise thing and definitely more harmonics on the right side. If I can't do it, I'll go back and start the first one over again. If I can't pull it out of the not so cool tone, not so sweet. It's kind of right in front of this pickup. Let's try that again. Nailed it! But I had the mic on. Okay, I think I'm gonna do it that riff like this. I think I'm gonna do it up higher, and then the song will end. So I'm gonna try that. And if it works, the song is done, you guys. And it's time for bass. It's got a got in it. And I don't think that's working, but it might be fine. I'm gonna listen. Let's try that. Those might need to get worked into the riff. Let's try it. I'll try it. Oh. Well, I don't mind it, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Let's take the mic down, and let's try and track that and see if it works. Okay, I'm going to try a second track of that. And it's going to have this. So it's got that. Everything after okay was recorded, so I'm going to cut it away so it's not there at the end. And now here's oops. Split. Select both tracks. Double click one of them. Hit split. Slide your finger down. Nope, edit. Did that wrong. Select both. Hit split. Slide your finger down. Select both after the cut. Hit delete. Go back to where I was one bar before the end of the previous riff. Go to the right side guitars. And then I'm going to turn the mic down and try and get this last track of this key change ending with the... Oh, what was it? Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. One note too shy. I'll be trying that again. We're trying that again. I want to get all the wow, 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 wows in there. Alright guys, someone just said my name. Hey Daddy, and that's cool. I'm done with the guitar. I'm just going to put my headphones down and go see what's up. Maybe a peanut butter spoon will be enough or whatever. But the next thing we do is we tune the bass guitar and then we record it in just 2 seconds. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna come here. What do you want? Okay. You got it? You are really strong. And here you go. Milk time. You got it on. Chocolate? Okay. Use some chocolate. You did it. You're really good. All right, you guys. That was just too cute. So what I just did is I came out there and she goes, look, look. And she had, what did you have, your milk out? And did you get it because you're strong? You got it. It was heavy and you put it way up high. And then I poured you the milk in the cup that you got out. And what did I add? Chocolate? A little bit of chocolate? Did you shake it up? Yeah. Yeah. And are you going to go lay down on the couch with your tablet? Or in here? Tablet died? Okay. Right back again. I'll be back. Right back. All right. I'm just too dang loud. Should I turn it down? Should I turn down my volume? David Noel? Is that what I should do? Should I be turning the volume down? I turned it down a little bit, but I'm not going to turn it down much more than that. Okay? Sorry about your ears. Hope they're bleeding! Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tune on my guitar amp with my bass. And then I'm going to turn my guitar amp off, turn those faders down, and switch over to the fader that's from the direct out of my bass guitar amp. Get this guy, I loop it around here so I don't drop it. I don't step on it and have it pop out. It's probably real close to in tune. All right. You're a kidder. I know. We got a good back and forth joking relationship. I'm going to give you homework later to make sure you were listening for the whole blog. Okay, David? Hope the homework isn't too hard, but it'll be something like at how many minutes into the recording session did Chris crack a sweat? I'm fucking kidding. All right. I'm over on the bass guitar track, and it might have a nice rich low tone to it. And what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to play it real loud and see if I get any clipping coming into the recording device. I think it's a good. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Everything just goes up, and then I don't go between the two pickups. I go slightly back like this. A little bit more of this pickup than that pickup, but if I had none of this pickup, and if I had none of this pickup, and so if I go right here, you can hear it get a little bit more, I would say a slight scooping. Scooping, no pooping. Yeah, this tone's the same thing I've been using on a lot of the other tracks, so let's take an effort on it. Let's try the first riff. I need some pure energy first. It's fruit punch. It's sugar. It's creatine. It's B vitamins. It's caffeine. Caffeine for my ween ween. What? Let me just say that was a pretty good first take, but let's say that these ones are definitely a panic attack versus my normal monster. My normal monster is 160, and I drink it slower. And this one tastes like a fruit punch, and I drink it faster, and it's 240 milligrams of caffeine. Caffeine gives you steam. Red Bull gives you wings. Red wings. I mean, bull wings. I mean, Red Bull wings. Anybody know what Red Wings are? Leave a comment down below if you know what the Red Wings are. If you know, don't tell people. They don't need to know. 2 down. And on this one, I think I'm going to try and be like more, it's the same riff as the beginning, but I'm going to be like more back towards the bridge here. And so it's a little bit more high-end attack. So, yeah, isn't it fun to see what I'm doing? I mean to do this more because all it is just setting up like I'm setting up for the blog and then just going at it like I always do and having more of a chit-chat in between. Actually, I don't have to sweat as much. I do have to keep my bass on a little longer and my guitar on a little longer. But yeah, I mean, normally I'd already be done, but I've been talking for 20 minutes of the thing, so I'm fucking not done yet. I got a few minutes left. I'm calling that good. On to the next one. On to the next one. Yep, that's good enough. That's a good enough for Buster. That's a nice one. I look at a riff. It's a really good. It's a nice riff. I like it a lot. I'll make it so. I'll do that on the high one. This isn't the high one, is it? Yeah, it is. Okay, I'll do it. I'll try it. Like always, starting one bar before, so I got this little pre-recorded parts that can just come in right as I'm playing and like maybe cut off the attack of the first note. So I go one bar back and start recording one bar back. I can always scoot them and adjust them and snip them and whatever after I'm done in the little mixing, editing, mix down phase at the very end, which I might share with you guys. Here we go, guys. So while playing it partway through, I changed what I was doing to make it two different riffs, kind of. So what it is this. I started like this. Oops. I started like this. I did that twice. Then I went like this. If you get how those are different. One was... and the other one is. So the high part first, the low part second, or the high part second, the low part first, kind of change. It's a nuance. It's in the bass. It's a for fun. It's a make it spicy. It's a make it spicy. What's the next riff? Yeah, that's this one. The further up you bring your thing, the more meaty the palm mute is until you get a clicky palm mute. Let me show you. That's clicky. So, regular, just barely palm muting, just like a stench of your skin on it, just a touch. Then a little bit more skin. Then a lot more skin. That's got kind of a backbeat swell to it. And then too much. But sometimes you do this to get that more. You get all anywhere in here is all good. You see what I'm saying? There's a reason to move your palm muting around on the bass for a feel. All right, microphone down. Let's try and do a take on this little bridge part, I guess you could call it. I messed up. I gotta try again. I like Doritos and I like Cheetos, oh yeah. I like Doritos and jalapeno Cheetos, fuck yeah. That's the lyrics, okay guys? Who's gonna record the lyrics? David, Noel, you're gonna record the lyrics to it for me? I like Doritos and I like Cheetos, fuck yeah. I like Doritos and jalapeno Cheetos, fuck yeah. Dip them in the hot sauce, dip them in the salsa, dip them in your mom's vagina. Woo! What are you talking about, Chris? That's nasty. The drums come from, I don't keep track of where they come from, but I said earlier, they either come from a dead friend, a friend that I offended one time, a friend that I don't really know, a friend that broke his foot. They're definitely not me. They're played, and it could even be an online source, but I don't think these are an online source. They didn't have a tempo attached. I had to figure it out. I just import it to BandLab. Figures out, it tells me the tempo. Delete that revision. I import it to GarageBand with that tempo set. See if it matched. It matched. It's 110 beats per minute. So I got like 45 of these, and I'm using them as stoner tracks. That's what if I use one of those 45, it's going to be called a stoner track, and that's just what it is. Some drums, actually, some of the stoner tracks have Matt Dunlap on drums, which are some of my favorites. And one of them has me on drums. One of them has a GarageBand drum, and one of them has I was trying to mention it because of the other one that I'm just now forgetting. One of them was, oh yeah, one of them was originally my program drums. Then I recorded the song, and then I took the drums out, sent it to Matt without the drums, and he re-recorded the drums. So that's my favorite process. Is I make a song, nobody hears the drums to it because I mute them. I send it over to Matt or another drummer like Ice Pick, and or Ice Pick Syndicate or Easy Drummer, and then those guys go at it and they make the drums for it. Or I gotta remember, M Dallas W might be the guy that does it. He's done a couple as well. So sometimes on some of my tracks, that's what happens. Dude, you're asking me to keep track of like I think 8,000 recordings. I can't remember anymore. And these are all recovered from MP3s on CDs and discs and shit. So I had labeled them as with names for song ideas at the time. This was labeled Oppressor. Just said oppressor.mp3. So I don't know, maybe there's something that's a clue. I don't know. Whoa. It's an electronic drum kit recorded. That's what this one is. This is like an old Alesis kit, I believe. That's what I feel. That's what my brain's telling me. It sounds great, and it's got this natural feel. A couple of the kicks on like the first bar come in a little early or whatever, and that fits me because I'm a tad early in my playing at times. I would say if you divided a bar into 16th notes, I am somewhere between 32nd notes. I'm somewhere between a 32nd and a 64th note early. I don't know what that is. I've been told many people that's a problem. And if someone hears that or analyzes my music and hears that, they won't pick me to be in the record deal. Fuck, that sucks. I've been told that a couple times by some professionals or representatives from professional record companies that if you have an early attack, it's going to make it really difficult to get good recordings, and they don't like sitting there and scooting shit all day long. I don't know if that's true nowadays with technology, but it was back then. I think it sounds good. That attack I like, so that came from a bassist originally the first time I heard that, and he was a coworker, and I actually got upset at him, but the second time I heard it, I felt so bad I had to go find the guy and be like, dude, thanks. Now it's a tip. And I probably scooted it from being as much as a 32nd to 64th by realizing that. When I get into the mood, I just forget. I'm trying to do that slap sound, so I'm going to try that again. I missed the last two. I missed the second to last. Only one note. Fuck. Nailed it! Nailed it! Chocolate! I heard my daughter say chocolate, so I just hit it back to her. Alright, next riff. We're on the last riff. Sweet. It so reminds me of Overkill, the band. All right. The final riff. Turn the mic down. Not up, but down. So what I just did was I exited the project to save it. So there you go, it's saved. And at this point, it's a mix down. So mix down is what's left. I love my button straps because I just do this, take it off, unplug it, turn it off, under there, snap her back on, hang her up, and call it a track. So what we're going to do now is just going to kneel here. What's up, Samuel? Oh, is this Samuel P. Lazon? Or is this a different way? Just saying hello. It's Easy Drummer is a name of a guy on BandLab. EZEE _ drummer. His name is Ezra Frost. And because his name is Ezra, I think he went with that Easy Drummer because drumming's easy for him. And he's a badass real life drummer. And if he's really just easy drums, then fuck. That's crazy. Nose pick. Picking a winner. The winner is you. Roll it, flick it. Get the cream. Roll it, flick it. That's my brother's strategy right there. There's a delayed echo. 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 How about now? Any echo now? Either way, let's listen to it real quick and see if there's some stuff that needs to be edited. First, before I see if there's stuff that's going to be, or before I find it with my ear, I'm actually just going to look for some loud spots. I see a couple. I see pops and cracks here and there. I'm turning the monitor on every track so that when I go to those tracks, you can hear me still. I don't get muted. I see a couple here that I need to find. And I'm going to bring them down. I see something in the beginning here. What I'm doing is I just highlight the tracks and scoot the beginning of the track over so that it doesn't come in until just like right before the riff starts. I see right as the riff is starting, I try not to cut it because it's not it's not really going to be heard in the seconds coming in. It might add a little attack and stuff. I'm going to go to the last part and zoom in. I'm going to go, where does the bass end? And I'm going to go wherever the bass note ends. I'm going to kind of cut. I'm going to kind of cut there. Give the whole thing an abrupt ending. So yeah, all the two guitars and the bass, just going to cut it right after where the bass ends. And then hopefully that will leave it like a super fast cut here. Last time. Yep, that sounded good. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the drum track. I'm going to hit automation, and I'm going to tap where the I'm going to turn on the automation. I'm going to tap there. Let me see if the volume's good, actually. I think the volume's good. I'm going to tap it on. I'm going to hit unlock. I'm going to tap right after the last at the same distance as the, if it's like this, this, and then fading, I'm going to go that same distance again and then begin the fade there and do a real fast fade so it's a not, and that's just something I do to make the song end pretty sounds like this. I'd say that's a little bit fast, so I'm going to edit it again. Automation. I'm going to scoot that over a little bit and over a little bit, and we'll re-listen to that again. But now as I'm going to the guitars, and I'm going to kind of stretch them out a little bit. There. And the right one a little bit less. So let's see. There you go. Now I'm going to the front side of the 3 tracks, the bass, the guitar, and the drums, or bass guitar and the other guitar, I mean. And yes, I'm going to kind of cut those. I'm going to split them. And then I'm going to give it the listen to the first few seconds and make sure that there's not an obvious like hiss in the beginning of it. Besides that one. There is that. Then I'm going to slice that little spot where you can hear that kind of squirrely sound. I'm going to bring it down to a different duplicate drum track, unmute it, and bring it real low so it's almost you can't hear it, like this. Nice! Let's give it a listen for anything weird. All right, I'll call that good. I hope everybody enjoyed this little insight to the recording session. Definitely going to need to restart the computer. It's doing some kind of fuck you lagging thing. So, yeah, that's a must. I think everything was fine on the BandLab side. And maybe it will be fine on the upload for live on YouTube. But I got to mess with some settings in my OBS studio and all that, but hopefully I can fix it pretty easy. Thanks for checking it out, this process. Catch you on the flip side, motherfuckers.